Hi, we are from street east side. We are the east side of downtown Toronto. You could see skyline from here. You could see CN Tower hiding there. Behind the towers, you could see cranes building Toronto. And behind me, that brick building, which is the most old still operating police division in Toronto. It's Division 51. Yes, in Toronto we call it divisions, not precincts. And it's operating from the first day as a police division till today. And you could ask me why I'm showing you this beautiful old building, police division. We're talking about real estate here. But, sometimes real estate and police services very close. Because unfortunately, a lot of criminal activity happening on the real estate market as well. And a lot of them, most of them, happening on rental market. However, it happened to my friends, it happened to my clients, and it happened to myself as well. I witnessed these attempts of the bad people, bad actors, to steal people's money. And of course, if it happened to you, you have to go to this division or any other close to you and report the crime, and they will do an investigation. And most likely, they're going to help you. We have very good professionals, professional police services, police officers. But in today's world, it's harder and harder to do it and actually to retrieve your money. So what you could do, you could not to go on the trap. Easy to say, right? You're right. But watch this video to the end, and I will teach you how to be prepared, how to feel something suspicious is cooking, and how not to get in a trap of the bad actors. Hi, welcome to Living, Selling, Buying, and Renting in Toronto YouTube channel with the real estate accent. My name is Oleg Lakrits. I'm realtor with Sutton Group-Admiral Realty, and I'm working in this beautiful city. Well, enough about me. Let's get back to the business. I'm back to my office, and let's get back to the business, to the real estate business. And as I said before, unfortunately, sometimes there are few bad actors on this market. And I'll share two stories with you that happened to, one story happened to my friends, and but they called me for advice. And another story happened to me and my daughter personally. It fairly fresh. It was end of the spring. And based on the stories, I'll show you how to spot, how to see that something suspicious cooking there, and how to avoid any traps that bad actors set up for you with intention to get your money, your hard-earned money. Let's begin. And I'll start with the story that happened to my friends. It was a few years ago. The rental market was very, very hot, very, very competitive. It was just, it was after COVID, and everything revived, and rent goes up every month. And my friend called me and asked me, Alex, I have a question for you. And he told me a story. The story was pretty short. One of his relatives that recently moved to the country, he was living in one place, and he wants to move to downtown, closer to his work. And he found on, if I remember right, he found advertising on Facebook probably, or any other social sites, that one lady, she wrote a big story that she's a nurse and she's moving rapidly, transferred to the Alberta from Ontario. And she has to go there in 3 days, and she just renewed the lease for the property in some very famous complex in downtown. Very nice, beautiful, luxury complex. Fairly expensive, but the nature of her lease is that she couldn't break it, she couldn't terminate it, and and also because the unit is furnished, has some furniture there, she has to sublease it, and but because of the transfer, she has to do it very fast in 3 days. It was a lot of pictures. I didn't see the ad. I didn't read the story. That's what my friend told me. But it was the pictures with the advertising, nice pictures, nice nice furniture. Everything seems to be right. The price was, let's say, 40% of the regular market price for that complex, for the same unit and that complex. So everything seems nice, everything right. You have to hurry up to get the property. And it was some condition that the first one who transferred me the first and last months gonna get this property. And as soon as I receive the transfer, you're gonna get the instructions how to get the keys, and you could move into the property. And the relative of my friends, he was ready to transfer money, fairly large amount of Canadian hard-earned Canadian dollars. He really worked hard, and it wasn't easy to save this money for him. And something he felt uncomfortable, and he called his relative. And the relative told him, something unusual, something strange. Let's call the realtor and ask the person who is working in this field every day. So they called me, we talk, I checked this condo units. I sent him the pictures, the recent listings there. And he told me that the view from the balcony a bit different. So I suggest to contact that person and ask a little bit more questions. Since they did it, she stopped answering them, and this ad disappeared. Well, who knows? Maybe it was true, but it was very good to be true. And this is for first hint how to see the something wrong. If it's very good to be true, very good to be true. This is the first red flag that you have to check, slow down, and check the other information. So communication stopped, and my friend's relative didn't send his money. Soon I helped him to find another place, and he's happily living there too. This was the first story. In the spring of this year, I was helping my daughter to find her place in her town nearby, where is one of the best universities of Ontario. Yes, she's a student. She's second-year student, and she has to move out and live on her own. The first year, she got accommodation provided by the university, and she was living there. And but second year, she has to find her own place. And of course, she has to rent it. So we started the beginning of the spring. It was the March, and probably and April. Well, I set up my system. It's Ontario. I could work. This small city. It's a part of. They part of a bigger Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. They have interboard listings, so we could see. They could see our listings and work on our board area. We could do the same there. So I set up MLS system, so my daughter get the listings, but she also asked me, would I mind if she could take a look around? I said no, do it. But before you ask her for only one thing, before she start taking any steps, she asked me questions. And I'm very proud of my girl, my daughter. She's very smart and bright young lady. I love her, and she asked questions, and she asked me, and it's very important. And this is second tip: always ask questions, even if you're in a situation when you have nobody who could answer you. Ask yourself. Ask critical questions about this place or this situation. So at the beginning of April, she called me and told me, "Oh, Dad, I found some advertising on one of platforms. It's a lot of rental platforms. I don't want to mention the name. Like, it's not I'm not advertising that company, but anyway." And she found very good property in the town. It was whole town home, 3-bedroom, and for the very good deal. Let's say, for example, I'll just give you an imaginary example so you could understand the difference in the price. So average 2-bedroom apartment in that city usually was rented out for around 2,300 per month, plus electricity, plus whatever else included, not included in the rent. The whole townhouse, according to this ad, including everything, was 2,000. 3-bedroom townhouse with the finished basement also. So it's plus extra bedroom in the finished basement. So it's basically 4-bedroom. Water, sewage, electricity, and gas. Electricity and gas is the most expensive part that the tenant gonna pay, because usually it's not included 99.9%. If it's townhomes, houses, semi-detached, freehold property, it's not included in rent. Even more, even condos now, it's only old buildings where they don't have meters. In that case, if it's old building, everything included in the rent. But usually the rent a little bit higher there. So the price there for the whole townhome, 4-bedroom, was 1,600 with everything. Again, offer too good to be true. The first red flag. But I talked to my daughter, asked her to send me this advertising. She did the screenshots and texted to me. And I received a bunch of screenshots because advertising was huge. And this is, from my experience, it's already another red flag. It's too big explanation, too big story, too big information. No. If you're renting, you want to do your advertising very simple, very short. You just stress out the most important points, and that's it. Done. As much possible, you try to avoid provide any personal information. In this case, it was totally opposite. It was a long story that this property, it's a family property, it belongs for a few generations. Even though in the pictures it was fairly new construction, you could see on the background it's still construction going on just across the street. Well, could happen. I know could happen. But anyway, we're gonna come back to this point as well. So the story was the guy who owns the property, he was paying off the mortgage, he was working hard and paying off the mortgage, but then he moved out to the Spain. He's now living with the Spain because he found true love of his life. But in this townhome, his daughter was living while she was a student, and because she finished her program, she has to go and work, and she's gonna be working in New York. But he was helping his daughter all the way while she was in university, and he wants to continue to help. That's why he want to provide this accommodation, the whole unit for the good tenants, but there only must be students, and he know how hard it's for students, and all this long story, and he explaining why why it's so cheap and why he in Spain and how it's beautiful there. It was huge big paragraph about living in Spain. Even more, I don't want to show this advertising to you. Honestly, I deleted screenshots, but it was very strange how it was developed from the first side. Some parts were bold, red color. Some parts were smaller. Some parts were underlined. It was 3, 4 different colors. The idea behind was, and I know a little bit about how to write your advertising. It's part of my work, and I'm doing this for my clients. And I understand why it was done, because it was kind of trick. It came from NLP. It was it's nothing like special. It's not rocket science. It's psychology, and a lot of marketing companies trying to use the same. I believe we're trying to use this, and when we're writing our resumes, but it was too much information, and all these differences in a text just create the picture that you have to do it fast, fast, fast. You have to move very fast. I'm very good. I'm very good. You have to do it. You have to trust me. You have to believe me. Send me your money. And by the way, so again, come back to this very good red flag. If it's very long text and a lot of different colors, different bold underlinings, just to go around your mind, around your critical mind, and go directly to your subconscious mind, this is already sign that something, they try to hide something, they try to manipulate you. So it's already big red flag. The next red flag. So I immediately recognize this. But again, I'm professional. I'm doing this for decades. And I'm writing the ads. I know I'm reading the special literature. I get the special courses how to do it properly without any harm to the people. And of course, they teach us how to recognize this kind of type of behavior, manipulative behavior, and to avoid it, and to protect our clients as well. So I decided to check the pictures. As I said, I checked the pictures. In advertising, it was the address. I checked the property. I went there when I was visiting my daughter, and I fairly knew this building, this town home complex. And it was something different from the pictures, the materials. Uh, Probably for me, it's much easier because I'm dealing with this. I could see, okay, by the picture, I understand the type of the property. Of course, it's experience, but like in the first story, what my friend told me that when he was looking in the pictures, and it was different views because he knows the city. It was different views from the like it was done in the pictures were done in two different properties. So they simply accumulate pictures from different properties and all that. The same happened here. And as I said, like in one picture, it's well-developed area, and another from the bedroom, it's construction just around the corner, just over the fence. And I know this building, there is no construction. I check it right away on Google Map. It's well established. So something wrong with the pictures. It's another flag. So when the pictures do not reflect real condition of the properties and real location of the properties, it's already very good point that it might be a fraud. And the last biggest part, it's how you could see the property. Well, it's brilliant. I love it. Because the owner of the property, he's living in Spain, so he hired real estate agent in Spain to rent it out, to help him, not to rent it out, to help him transfer the deposit money. Okay. He mentioned very good company, very well-known company that actually working with a lot of people who relocating around the world. They're working with the biggest companies. They have the office here in Canada. So no way, and I could guarantee you 100% to deal with real estate transactions as a registered real estate professional in our province, you must have valid and active RECA license, licensed by Real Estate Council of Ontario. In other words, you have to be realtor in Ontario. So no way realtor from Spain could help anyhow to work with the real estate transaction in Ontario unless he has registered license in Ontario. But if he has registered license in Ontario, he must be registered with the brokerage in Ontario. And this, if it's some kind of helping, doesn't work like this. It's we have in Ontario, we have very strict real estate laws that creates very strict rules how we could deal with the real estate transaction, how we establish our relationship with our clients, and what the service we're providing them, in what cases. And what he described on that brokerage, we just hold money for deposit. No. Brokerage represents on a real estate transaction. Yes, he's going to hold money for deposit, but if it's your client and this is your listing. So this is for me was already big, and probably the last red flag that this is fraud. However, why they need the brokerage to hold deposit? Because to obtain the key to see the property, you need to transfer him first and last months. Remember, like from the first story, first and last months. 3,000, well, 1,600, 3,200. 3,200 transferred to the somewhere in Spain. And when the transfer gonna be completed, then that brokerage gonna give some call to some lawyer here in Ontario, and the lawyer will bring a key. Bullshit, my friends. Lawyers will never bring the key to his clients. You could come to their office, pick up the key, they're gonna make sure that exactly the person who should pick up the key. So this was the last nail to the coffin. It was absolutely 100% clear for me that it's a fraud. And I helped my daughter. I explained her why this is fraud. I showed her every steps, the same like I told the story to you. And she avoided, we avoided. And I helped her rent it out another place with her friend where she's living now, and happy and studying there with the smile. So this is the stories that happened to my friends and to my family, to my daughter and me personally. And the last one, I was involved from the beginning to the end. By the way, we contact that rental portal. I wrote email. They removed this ad. They put investigation. They said that, and I believe them. They want to clean up this. I never see that advertising again on that portal, but unfortunately, I'm sure something similar comes to another place, because they know that from the, let's say, from the 100 people, one or two gonna send them money, 3,200. So if it's two persons send them the money, it's $6,400 just for floating out. So again, be careful. How to quick resume. So first of all this rental frauds, advertisings, they're gonna create your urgency. You need to do it right now. No. Send me money right now. That's what they're creating. Second one, they bring you a ton of information on you. They pour in a ton of unnecessary personal information just to trick you, to make you comfortable, so you could easily give them money. Never. Third big red flag. Something wrong with the pictures, with the location. Always check pictures, location, the views. Use Google Map, use Google Earth. If you could go around the building, if it's nearby, and you know the exact location. If it's always be caution if they ask you money to get inside the property, to take a look on the property, to visit the property. If you ask about visit and they start feeding you with different stories that, oh, it's you need to give me some money because of that, because of some kind of elevator security deposits. I need deposit to be security that the furniture is going to be okay. Bullshit. If the people put their property for rent, they want to rent it out. They want potential renters to see this property as much as they can, as many as the potential renters could see the property, the better for them. So if it's any obstacles to see the property, and to remove these obstacles, you need to send the money, it's big no. Don't go there. Always ask the question. It's another way how to avoid. Always ask the question. Ask your friends. Call realtor. Call any realtor. We must protect and educate public in terms of real estate. So if you call me, even if you don't my client, but you describe the situation and give me the question, I will give you the answer, the most full and most correct answer according to my professional experience, to my professional expertise. And if you don't have friends or realtor, happen you just move to, or you're planning to move to the country, ask yourself if it's too good to be true, if it's very something bothering you, don't go there. Save your money. Sleep overnight. Just tell yourself, I will take this decision in the morning. And believe me, your subconscious gonna save you. And another one, if it's something complicated structure which involve different people, but not here in Ontario, not here in Toronto, not in another city in Ontario, but somewhere abroad. If it's very complicated, it's a fraud. They want your money. I hope this video was helpful. If you still have questions, you know how to contact me. And be safe and be vigilant. Thank you very much.